Good morning, everyone, or good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you happen to be watching me from. And welcome to Judy's Creations in Crochet. Today is September the 22nd, 2022. Lots of twos. If two's your lucky number, today's the day to go out and use it. I'm very excited to be doing this video today because those that follow me know that today is the day I'm actually celebrating my podiversary and birthday. It is video number 52, actually the year I was born. So now we know what milestone I am celebrating actually tomorrow. Tomorrow is my birthday, and 23 is my number. But since it's this Thursday, we're going to celebrate today. And I'm excited to have so many gifts for you to celebrate my birthday, because that's what I like to do. So where do we start? Well, I want to start with a prize, but just before I do start with the prize, I want to first, I want to remind Maritza, if you're watching, Maritza, you actually won this project bag, which I announced last week, and I haven't heard from you yet. So I would please like to hear from you by next Tuesday, the day that everybody else will be contacting me. Then I want to announce, because I'm not going to wait till the end, I may forget. I want to announce the winner of this beautiful hank of yarn, which comes in a box with some other goodies that I'm not going to let you see. And this is the vegan, or vegan, however you say it, the vegan yarn. And the winner of this yarn is, and I'll put it in the box here in front of Kiki, and then we'll say hello to her. The winner is Teresa Harp, who has been following me for a while now, and she said that she would make fingerless gloves or socks with the vegan yarn. It does look very soft and stretchy, and this is the perfect time of the year to start making gloves. So Teresa, congratulations. This yarn is yours. You know what you have to do. You have to email me, and everybody today will be given the same information eventually. You have to email me, and my email is in the description box below, but it is judyscreations21@gmail.com. So congratulations, Kiki. And throughout our celebrations today, Kiki is here joining us. She's all dressed up in her very special birthday dress, full of sparkles, blue for September, and my favorite color. I love a sparkling navy. So she looks cute, and she's joining me, and she's a gray kitty, and I have two gray kitties, so she's a special visitor today to watch what's going on. Now, I want to start, and you know, I already released one video this morning. I hope you caught that, the Fall Yarny YouTube hop, because today is the very first day of fall. And I hope you checked out some of those other videos, and I know you saw what I made. I'll talk about that in a minute. But because of that, I need to make this video a little bit shorter than normal. Is that possible for me? I'm not sure, but I'm going to try. So I'm going to start right away with, this is the item I would have given as the prize for today had I still been doing the live, which I'm not doing. All the other prizes are because I'm not doing the live. But my regular prize for this week is a Furls hook. Now, it's not blue for September, sorry. It just happened that I ordered a duplicate of the same hook, and this is a 5mm or an H hook. So that is today's prize. Now, in order to be in the draw for this prize, you have to use the word hook in the comments below. Now, I'm going to have a word for every prize. You can enter as many as you want. You can put the right word for all of them, or just the ones you like. You might like one and not the other. Maybe you don't want a big hook like this, but you would like some of the yarn. Or maybe you don't really care for the color of yarn, but you'd like to give furls a try. You've never had a furls, and to me, they're one of the best on the market. They're closely rated with my Leto hooks. Because I am pencil grip, this fits perfectly right there in my hand. It's the right length and everything. I just love them, and I love the colorful hooks. I'm into colors. So you need to use the word hook in your comments if you're interested in receiving it. Now, what I want to tell you is it's going to come in this box. This box has, cover it a bit, has slots for 5 hooks. And I don't use it because I have something else I put my hooks in. So I'm going to send it in this box that you can, if you have other furls, put them in. And in all the slots, there will be some other goodies with it. So you'll find this box, it'll be wrapped in vinyl when I mail it, and you'll find some other goodies with it. So that's this week's giveaway. So I'm just going to put that aside and get it out of my way. Now, before we go on to more prizes, I'm kind of proud to say that I have a couple of FOs this week. And the first FO is actually something, that's why I'm so proud, I took out of my UFO pile. Just out of the blue, I was straightening things in my closet over here to the side, and I saw this and I said, you know, I can finish that rather quickly. So here it is. I forgot to bring the label. I actually had some of the solid purple still left over. Let's make room here. And this is a Mobius Cowl. In other words, you do one row going around and you attach it like you do in any circular item. But then when you do the second row going around, you flip it. I've shown you how Mobius works before. You flip the beginning and go along the other side of the beginning chain. So you end up making a figure 8, and the whole thing does the top and the bottom as you go around it. Now, I'm not going to take this off and try to show you, but the reason people do a Mobius is because if you have a gradient cake, as this was, you start at the middle, the base rows in the middle, and then the 2 colors work out the same on both sides of the gradient cake. Now this was an Lion brand product called Ombre Life. And it is a gradient cake that starts with the very light color in the center and worked out to the purple. And I actually have this dark purple left. I wish I could have used it as well, but it was getting wide enough. You can see it's quite tall. And I can probably put this with some other gradient. But that's, I don't know if they still have them or not, but it's a very fine. It comes with the 4 threads. The 4 threads. And it slowly changes 1 thread at a time as the color changes. So that's the cake. And it has 437 yards or 400 meters. And it's 50% acrylic and 50% cotton. So we'll now move her back out of the way because we're kind of congested here. And I have a second finished object, which I did at the last minute, and that is another mini shawl or scarf. Now, for those that watched my my video earlier this morning, you saw my fall make where I used the yarn I had shown ahead of time, which was Red Heart Unforgettable in fall colors, and I made a beautiful shawl, and I used 3 balls, and I had 1 ball left over. Well, remember, I had to make that video a whole week ago. I didn't just make it in a couple hours. I had 1 ball left over, and I used that ball to make this. This is, again, the same pattern I have done before, a pattern by Hooked by Robin. She has a video tutorial of this shawl. I made some summer shawls in Shawl in the Ball in this pattern, and I think I'm ready for fall now with this particular it's a shawlette. You can make it as large as you want. Once you get going, she shows you the first few rows, and then it just repeats. It's a 1-row repeat, and you can make it large enough to be a shawl. I just had the 1 ball, and so it's perfect for a little scarf at this time of the year. So I'm going to wear this while we talk. So that's my 2 finished objects this week. I started, I tried to finish a 3rd one, and I started 2 others and didn't get anywhere with any of them. But I'll have them to show you next week. So I want to continue on with some more prizes. So the first prize I want to show you, I got thinking, you know, I've been showing a lot of hand-dyed yarn to give away. And I thought there will be some of you out there that don't like to work with the fine yarns. So I went in my stash and I found some other yarns that some of you might like better. So here is Premier Basics multicolor. The color is called Harvest, perfect for the fall. And we don't get Premier here. I made 1 order with Premier, and I had a major problem with the shipping company, and I won't be ordering again from Premier. But this was in that order, and it is, see if I can find the specs, 100% acrylic. So those of you that are allergic to wool, this is great. And there's 245 yards or 224 meters in 1 ball. So you have 3 balls, and this is a number 4 worsted weight. So for those of you that don't like the fine yarns, you might prefer to win this. And the word you're going to use is multi. All right, easy word. I didn't want to pick any of the spelling problems. You're going to use the word multi, M-U-L-T-I. Multi for this yarn. The next yarn, now these were all yarns I was going to give away in my live show that didn't happen. And I didn't want you to be penalized, so I decided I would do it today. So the next yarn I have, this is sticky and it isn't staying. Every time I close it, it comes apart. I will tape it before I put it in the mail, but this, we'll just take it off. This is from Weaver's Cottage. I don't know where or how I received this. I know I didn't buy anything from that company, but here's the color. And this is 100% Pima cotton. It is a DK weight. Can you see it there? And there are 200 meters, so there'll be about 220 yards in this hank of yarn. Very pretty, summery color. Would make, especially being cotton, would make something like this maybe, or some other summer item that you might enjoy with these beautiful colors. So, what is the special word to win this? Well, it's going to be Pima. Since this is Pima cotton, we'll use the word Pima, P-I-M-A. I will put each of these words in the random YouTube comment picker, and it'll sort out who's interested in this. And you are welcome to put words for everything I show you. You'll see how many there are at the end. So that's the second one I would have given away on my live. And I'm going to show you one more. And I have to move Kiki for the moment. And that is, I started a project this week using Shawl and the Ball, and I'll have it finished to show you next week, but I don't have time to show you the work in progress. So I am using this Shawl and the Ball. For a while, a Shawl and the Ball actually came out as Shawl and the Cake, but is exactly the same thing. So this is called Shawl and the Cake, but this is the color. And it has 481 yards, which is 440 meters. And I believe it's, no, I'm wrong. It's 61% cotton, 34% acrylic, and 5% other. Well, the other would be the metallic. I'm sure you can see, oh, you can see it in the ball. You can see the sparkle in this, but it is mostly grays and blacks. It's actually called, I think it's called opal. Yeah, opal. And you're getting 2 of them. So they look like they could be slightly different dye lots. I'll go back down because I know I have more of this. I think I have 2 more. So I'll go down and make sure I get 2 that look like they're the same dye lot, because one looks lighter than the other. But you're going to get 2. One is supposed to make a shawl, depends on your pattern. But if you have a denser pattern and a bigger pattern, you might want 2. So that is the next prize, and we're going to use the word opal, O-P-A-L, because that's the color of it, opal. And I'll be sure that you have 2 that look like they match. I may have to do the balls instead, but I'm sure I can do it with the cakes. Alrighty. So that's 3 more prizes. Remember those words: multi, pima, and opal. I'm trying to make them very short, easy words. Now, the next thing I want to do today, and I am going to have to move my friend out of the way for a bit. The next thing I want to do is show you some yarn I got recently. And I think this is very special yarn. I was watching Gina on Knitting Turnpike. I'm sure a number of you, especially those of you that are knitters, watch her. I'm not a knitter, but I still watch her because she has a lot of beautiful yarn. And I watch her to get ideas of where to get yarn. And she happened one day to be showing a yarn acquisition of hers that she got from Jimmy Bean. Now, Jimmy Bean has been in business for quite a long while, and Jimmy Bean a few years ago bought out Madeline Tosh. And I had always wanted to try Madeline Tosh. It's on a par with Malabrigo, that kind of yarn, and I wanted to see what it was like and how it stacked up next to my Malabrigo to see if I would want to ever buy more in the future. Well, they were having a sale. They were having a sale of mystery bags. Now, I don't know if I've mentioned this, but I tend to stay away from mystery bags because generally speaking, if it's just a mystery box on one of the big box like Lion Brand or Hirschner's, or, you know, Crystal shows them all the time. I noticed that they have varying weights in them. They're almost always heavier weights than I like. I mean, I'd use a worsted, but to get a bulky or a chunky, I don't use them. And probably more than half the time, they have colors that I don't care for. So I don't get mystery boxes or mystery bags. But these mystery bags were different. They actually had different categories. First of all, they were all Madeline Tosh, which told me it was going to be fingering weight. Actually, they had some that were DK weight as well, but I didn't have to choose the DK weight, although I don't mind DK weights. The other thing was they had them in different color groupings. So you could pick natural, neutral, or you could pick browns, or one was blue and gray, another was pink and purple, the other was yellows and greens, and I think finally they had oranges and reds. So I thought, I saw what she pulled out and loved them all except one color. You had a choice of getting glitter, tweed, or the regular, I think they call it light. And I thought, well, this is the kind of mystery bag I would enjoy. So I went to the site and looked, and sure enough, it was broken down enough that I could get what I wanted. So this is what I ended up with. I got the glitter in blues and grays. I got the merino light in a tweed earthy tones. She had earthy tones and they were gorgeous. And they had just a plain light in pinks and purples. So I thought, great, I can deal with those and I probably won't be too dissatisfied. So I'm just going to pick these as they're piled up here. And the first one I get is the one called purples and pinks. So I'll do one at a time. Here's the purple, hand dyed. It's a fingering weight, has 420 yards, and it is 80% superwash merino wool and 20% kid mohair. Now, I don't see a lot of mohair in it. It isn't particularly soft like mohair is, but it is a very nice yarn, and it's called Flash Dance. So that was my purple one, and the others were pink. So here's the next one. And again, this one is merino wool and kid mohair again. Now this one looks a little bit fuzzier than the other one. Not my favorite pink, but it is still something I can work with because of the browns and the blacks. I can put this with a brown, and I like pink and brown together. Not the kind of pink you're thinking you're going to get. You think you're going to get bright pink, but anyhow. And again, it's a super fine fingering weight. And the third one in this bag really doesn't look very pink, but there are splashes of pink. Did I tell you the name? Oh, this is called Star Scatter. And this one is called Leaf Fall. So it's a little more fall colors than pink. And again, same makeup. It's wool and kid mohair. So I like the textures of all of them. This is not my favorite of them. But at the same time, because it has the fall colors of greens and the red of fall, and I think there's brown in here somewhere. Yeah, there's brown. I'll be able to use it with something. There's more greens up there. So this is the first one. Now, this was my least favorite of the three, and I do like it. So you know the other ones are going to be even better. Next bag is the tweed one. And these were called earthy. So we get a nice dark brown. And these are 80% merino, 8% viscose, and 2% nylon. They feel pretty much the same as the other ones, so I don't know about that kid mohair. But anyway, it has 420 yards as well. And it's called Sinfully Decadent. And that is a brown that I really, really like. Very nice. Now, it's supposed to be tweed, and when I think tweed, it says it has viscose, which is the tweed, but I really don't see much in the way of flex, which is fine. I still love the color. Next one in the tweed package is this one. Again, a gorgeous, gorgeous fall color. Same specs, and this one, the color name is Subtle Flame. Isn't that a gorgeous fall color? Again, I don't really see much in the way of flex. And the last one is a lighter color, but you know, I could put all three of these together, or any two of them, and it has your rusts and browns in the cream colored yarn. And this one is called Modern Fair Isle. And I have some yarns. I think I got some yarn from Knit Crate in this kind of color that I could put it with. And it has a bit, it's flecked, some black in it too. But again, it doesn't quite look like the tweeds I'm used to. If I had a tweed close by, I'd pull it out and show you the difference. No. Oh, just a minute. Is that a tweed? No. Anyhow, usually you see flecks. I showed you a tweed last week that you could see the flecks in the yarn. I got it from Candy. Oh, here. Here it is. See this tweed? See the flecks in it? I love this yarn. Well, these don't have that. So I don't know why they're called tweed. Maybe just because there's viscose in it. But anyway, those three I really, really like. I'm really happy with this. And I was so happy I thought of ordering more. And the third package I got was the blue and gray sparkle glitter. They call it glitter. So here we go. Here's the gray. And this is made up of 90% superwash, 8% acrylic, and 2% stellina. And it has 420 yards, the same as all the others. And this is called Moon Glow. And I think gray with a glitter can go with so many things. And one of my favorite things is navy. So it would look really pretty with that. But anyhow, that's the gray. And then we got what I call a blue gray. And same specs. This time it's called Favorite Pair. I think they're referring to like jeans, because this does have here, it has a denim look to me. And I like a denim look. Very pretty. And finally, the last one is almost like, I'd call it teal. And their name is Deep, like deep in the ocean. And put it back where you could get the look of teal in it. Because it is not a navy. It is definitely, when you put it next to this, you can see one's blue and the other is different. But again, a color that I like. And the glitter. So these are the three I got in the blue gray section. Now I liked these so much. I plan to go back and order more. And by the way, I will put the link to the actual page where these are. They're on Jimmy Bean's site in the sale section. And they still have some mystery bags. Now, let me tell you what a good deal these are. These are normally 3 for, I believe it's 87 and change. That means that each of these skeins is $29 and a bit. $29 a skein. I'm talking all US. All of these, no, the light one, the pink and purple was a little cheaper. That's $29 US, and that's a pretty standard price for hand-dyed yarn. But I got the package of 3 for 57 and change, which is $19 a skein. So that's basically a third off. Now, $19 in US for a skein of hand-dyed yarn is a super good deal. And the other ones, these plain ones, I believe they were regularly 80 something, 85, and they were either on for 55 or 52. There were some that were 52 and change, which means there were $17.50 a piece. So that is a really, really good deal. And I did go back and I did see that they have more on sale. Not as much. They don't have the tweed in the earth tones anymore, but they do have tweed. I almost got tweed in the red and orange. And they still, I believe they still had the blue glitter. I forget what else, but I decided that right now, with replacing my floor, I've spent enough on yarn, and so I passed it up. But I am super happy. So if you like fingering weights and want to get a good deal, go to the Jimmy Bean site. I will put the link down below. Okay, so that's the yarn acquisition that I thought was pretty special acquisition that I wanted to show you today. And in time for you to possibly still take advantage of that yourself. Okay, let's get back to some more prizes. So the next prize is, this time it's a hand-dyed skein of yarn, and I apologize, there is no label on this, and I don't have a missing labels. I always keep labels on things. I believe I won this somewhere and don't have the label, but it is fingering weight. I can tell by the feel of it that it's a mix of superwash merino and nylon, and it feels a regular size, so it would have 400 meters or thereabouts. It might have 380 or 90 meters, so it has over 400 yards, like 420 or 430 yards. Very pretty, bright, again, spring summery color, and it doesn't have a name or anything, and the predominant color is pink. So the word we're going to use, if you're interested in winning this one, is pink. Pink, and this is the one. Okay? Now, excuse me for a second. Okay. We're not done. I have another prize back here. And getting back to regular weights that some of you may prefer, I have Lion Brand's Reed Tweed. And this is recycled tweed, and you can see the flecks of color in it. Gray as a nice neutral. You could always combine this with something else. The specs on it, it's 40% wool, 40% polyester, and 20% acrylic. It's 100 grams. It's a 4-weight. So it has 202 yards in a ball. But, Kiki, you're going to have to move. I happen to have 5 balls of this, and I had planned to make a sweater out of it. That's why I got 5, although 5 at 200, 1,000 probably wouldn't make me a sweater. But I have 5 balls of it, and I decided I had so many other items to make sweaters out of. Although, you know, you could add, see some of those pretty colors? You could add a stripe of this color and a stripe of the pink. There seems to be a charcoal-y in there. I suppose you could add some and make it enough for a sweater, or if you're a smaller person than me. But anyway, this is the next gift. 5 of these. And what's the word going to be? Tweed. T-W-E-E-D. Put the word tweed in the comment box below, and you could win this from Lion Brand. It is machine washable and dryable, it says. So it could make something very useful. And I have one more giveaway, and that is a combination of things. I happen to have a Lion Brand logo. I haven't even opened this. I have a Lion Brand bag that I got with an order. They were on sale, so I bought it. They are a very, very heavy canvas. You can see that it is a big size, and it comes with very strong handles and a snap closure at the top. It folds down to a box bottom. I don't want to unfold this too much because I want to get it packaged up, but I have this Lion Brand bag, which would be a very, very good canvas tote bag for a project or anything else. It's strong enough you could put your groceries in it. So I have this Lion Brand bag, and I have a quilted, it's quilted Notion bag. Decent size. It's big enough to put a mini hank in. And with this, I have 4 mini hanks. And I don't have any labels on them. These are just some mini hanks I had. And they all kind of go together in the greens. And if I have a couple more that go with it, I will add it to it. And of course, I'll put some other little goodies like maybe tea or the hair clips. I've been putting hair clips in a lot of them, and whatever other little goodie I can find. But you'll definitely get these 3 items and maybe a couple more minis if I find some that go with it. Now, I don't know if you noticed, but all of these minis are sparkly. Yes, sparkly. All 3 of them are. You see the sparkles? So that's the 6th prize from the live. And the key word here is mini. So 6 plus the hook makes 7. 7's a lucky number. And so there are 7 prizes that you can win this week. And what do you have to do? You have to use the keyword for whichever prize or all of the prizes. Put the keywords in the comment section below. I expect there'll be lots of comments. And you have to do that before next Tuesday. Today is the 22nd, and I always give 5 days. So that will be next Tuesday, the 27th, before 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's my time zone. Then Tuesday evening, I'll go through the random comment picker. And just like Teresa won today, 7 lucky people out there are going to win these prizes, and I will announce it next week. Now, I have used far more time than I wanted. I wanted to be done in under half an hour, and I'm already just over the half hour. So very quickly, next week, I will have some more yarn to show you. I will be declaring winners of all of these great prizes, and I will definitely have some more FOs to show you, and one more giveaway to celebrate my birthday. Now, I wish I knew how to put all kinds of fancy things in my video, and I would now throw up the confetti and the streamers and all of that, but I have no idea how to put that in my videos. So let's just go out by saying happy birthday, and I hope you enjoyed my celebration with you of my birthday, and that you'll be back next week to finish off the celebrations. And until then, happy hooking.